Hello folks, and welcome back to part 2 of this How to Play Battlefield series. Now, in the first video we talked about leveling up your classes, what class to pick, and game modes, how to play Conquest and all that. And, you know, don't mind my chopper driving here. I learned how to drive helicopter on Pt.2, so I never really practiced that much on the other games. I just drive whenever I need to get somewhere and don't want to get shot by like a tank driving a quad bike or something. Here you'll see me bail, very awesome bail, landed perfectly as far as I'm concerned. And you know, if you leave a vehicle, like if you're in a tank and you're about to get shot down, what's always been recommended as a Battlefield player is to go down with your ship. If you leave your tank and an enemy repairs it, then they can hop in it, and in past Battlefield games, your vehicle wouldn't spawn because there's an enemy teammate in it, so that means that you're down one tank. Not sure if that's the case for newer Battlefield games, but that's how it worked, at least in Bad Company. So go down fighting with your ship, you know, get out if you know it's going to get blown up, just to try and survive. You know, I've done that sometimes, or blow up the vehicle that you lack if you're not an engineer and you can repair your vehicle. Let's talk about spotting on Battlefield. Now, spotting on Battlefield is a great feature. It was implemented, you know, who knows, I don't know if it was in the very first Battlefield or whatnot, but I know that at least in Bad Company 1 and Bad Company 2, it was a big thing. You know, it just helped you find people. And yeah, sometimes you can see them through buildings, but that's just part of the game. You know, and in Battlefield 5, I think it was a big issue. If you spotted people, you could see them through like smoke and stuff. So you could still shoot them, you can still see them. But spotting is part of the Battlefield game. It's part of knowing how to play Battlefield. You spot people with the R1 button, and it's sometimes always different in different Battlefields. It's not always the same button, but or you can map it to a different button if you want it, if you play on PC. But learning to having the muscle memory to spot people. You know, even if you don't want to, especially if you're a sniper, spotting people can sometimes take your kill from you if your enemy kills them. But you know, Battlefield is a teamwork game. So if you're only focused on your kills and whatnot, you're not going to enjoy Battlefield. You're going to enjoy Battlefield when, you know, you're just destroying the enemy team, you're spotting people, your teammates are getting kills. You know, tanks are being blown up because you're helping out the team and stuff like that. You know, you're not always going to get the one rocket tank kill, especially since these tanks take like 3 to 4 rockets to take them down. Depending on where you hit a tank, they're weaker, so if you hit them with an RPG, if you hit them on top of the tank, they're weaker. If you hit them in the back, they're weaker. You know, tanks have the most armor up front, so if you try to hit them in the front of the tank, they're gonna take way more rockets. Like this right here, you know, shot them from the top angle, got kill assist, and that, you know, that's also a big thing on Battlefield. Getting those kill assist points that count as kills. Bad Company 2 was terrible because you would put in like 90 bullets from a light machine gun into somebody, and then your teammate would just put one bullet in them and they would die, and you'd be like, come on. But they fixed that with the kill assist, kill count thing that they added in. Also, one thing I wanted to talk about was patience. You know, just take the time to learn the game. You know, especially if you're just starting out, because there's so many things. There's so many guns. There's a lot of maps. There's lots of vehicles. You know, figure out the helicopters that you like to drive, the tanks that you like to use, the quad bikes and snowmobiles. You know, you can't just always go full throttle with them. Sometimes you want to slow down so that you can have better turn angles, things like that. And I also wanted to talk about Rush. You know, Rush is one of those game modes that a lot of people want to play, but also not a lot of people play, because you have to play it a certain way, just like you have to play Conquest a certain way. And this made me laugh right here, trying to you know, newer games you would have been able to jump over that, but Battlefield 4 is an old game, so you know, as much as it still holds up to this day, there's lots of things that are still wrong with it. You know, this ladder took, you know, like 2 years to climb, but it was fun just so that I can jump off of it. But yeah, Rush, you have to, especially as an attacker or defender, you play differently. You know, it's really good for getting anti-tank mine kills. So you drop a lot of mines, you know, especially if you know where there's going to be tanks coming from. There's always like a set pathway. You can just riddle that road with mines, and you're going to get a lot of tank kills. So I got a lot of anti-tank mine kills on Pt.2. Just figure out the pathways that people like to come from, and you can have a phenomenal time. Yeah, Rush, you have to attack it a certain way, defend it a certain way. Especially like you can really dominate if you have a lot of medics on your squad or on your team, just reviving you constantly. Especially if you're attacking, you have to strategize in attacking it a specific way, but it can be a lot of fun if you do it right. Also, you know, watching your ticket counts, making sure that you're not dying a lot, that you're not just running out there and dying. You know, you gotta make sure you look both ways before you cross the street. Check your corners, check your angles, and that's why you'll see me just pause at certain points and just look this way, look that way, look up, because I'm checking to see if there's people looking at me, if there's people in that area, if it's safe to cross that area, things like that. And you know, learning what guns that you want to use, like my favorite gun, and if you're gonna watch my videos, you'll probably see me using the Pt.2 a lot. I've been playing this game for years, so I'm not messing around with my class anymore. This is my favorite class, my favorite gun. I can attack people long range with it. I can put it on single fire if I want to be more accurate long range with it. Most of the time I just use automatic fire and I just tap the button and it works great. I have this 2x ACOG scope on here so I can see a little bit further, but I can also still see people in front of me. All of these scopes that you're able to put on, like a lot of these things that they added to the game, they do have functions, and you know, they do make you play the game a certain way. Like if I were to use a red dot scope, I would mainly only be able to attack up close and not far away. Like sometimes I like to engage from far away. And the Pt.2 is just the gun that you can do it with. It's got an amazing rate of fire, it's fast, but it's also accurate. So you can use it long range if you want to. And then I have a silencer on it, I have a laser sight. When I first started playing Battlefield and they put in laser sights, I didn't like using them because I thought they were just giving away my position. But there is the toggle on and off button on the D-pad. You can turn it on and off if you want, unless you're using the flashlight and laser dual attachment. Then you have to pick between which one you want on and off. And I was using that for a little bit, but I didn't like not being able to have it completely off if I wanted to be full sneak mode, and you know, just make sure that I wasn't visible when I was going to engage especially if I knew somebody was around the corner or something like that, because then they can sort of gauge where you're coming from and they know where to shoot, essentially. So yeah, picking the gun that you want to use. Now, a lot of the start off guns that they give you are really good guns. They may not seem like it, but once you get used to it, those guns, you're gonna get kills 100% of the time when you're on point. You know, when you're like, look at this right here, Pt.2. I just turned around, blind fire. There's 45 bullets in that clip, so it's just the gun that works for me. Now, I really like the P90. I still haven't played the story mode on this account, because and that's how you unlock. There's like, I don't know, like 10 or so guns that you can unlock, I believe, from playing the story mode. And so those are like free guns. All you have to do is play the story mode and you'll get them, and they're really good guns. The Saw is one of them. So you do get the M240B, which is a different version of the Saw, if you don't play the story mode, so you don't have to worry about that. But it is, I think it's slower firing, so I don't like it as much. So I do need to go back and play the story mode. Just haven't found the time to do that yet. And the P90 is also one of those that you get from the story mode. It's probably the main and only reason I'll play the story mode again. But the story mode is fun. It is. I do like it. It has a special place in my heart. But you know, it's not the end all be all of story mode games. Now, in some areas in this map, you'll see that there's nobody there right here. There's 4 tickets left on the map, so I knew that the game was about to be over. I was trying to get a last minute kill, trying to RPG something, but just didn't quite happen. So there you go, folks. You know how to play Battlefield. Let me know what other tips and tricks you'd like to know. I might make a rush video if I'm able to find a server. I probably could right now. So thanks for watching, and see you on the next one.